Now, let's talk blind spots. Even the best leaders in the world have blind spots. It is part of being human. I want to share a few of them that I see more commonly in coaching. One is incredibly common, and that is overestimating your listening skills or your ability to listen. It's really not until I challenge my clients, how are you using silence in your current communication style? Or when you feel that your team member understands what's expected of them, how do you know? How do you know that they know what's expected of them? So usually as leaders, we do a lot of the talking. Ironic because I'm doing a lot of talking now, but we do a lot of the talking because we want to have all of the answers and we want to give people direction. We want to get things moving. And that can really take away from our ability to be active listeners. So if you find yourself just waiting for your turn to speak, then you're probably not as great at listening as you would like to be or as you could be. Another blind spot is confusing busyness with productivity. Oof, this is a big one, and it's a challenging one as well, because we do feel as though the more senior we become, the more stuff we should be doing, and we should be across everything and doing everything and have our proverbial finger in every pie, because it gives us a sense of control and contribution, and sometimes a sense of value and self-worth. But being busy and having a really full calendar is not the same thing as being effective. Another gap is believing that we are empowering our team members when actually we're micromanaging them. I spoke with a client yesterday who's quite senior, and her senior executive level leader offers their support by sending them emails with a step-by-step guide of how they should be accomplishing certain tasks. So their leader feels as though that's how they're empowering their team. I'm going to give you a blow-by-blow of exactly what I expect from you, and you can just follow direction, follow the recipe that I'm sending you. But actually, it's incredibly micromanaging and disempowering. Another gap, assuming intent. So you might look at someone's behavior as being quite lazy, or why are they being so resistant to this change? Or, they've got a bad attitude, or assuming that their intention is negative when actually they might just not understand what's required of them, or they might be feeling really overwhelmed. So again, circle back to that listening one, we need to be hearing more than we're saying. A common gap for many leaders is overconfidence. So when leaders believe that their self-view is aligned with how other people experience them, but in reality, their energy, their vibe, their tone, the words that they use actually is putting people offside. The other side of this overconfidence coin is actually letting ego make decisions. So what I find is actually quite often when a leader moves into a level where they maybe feel out of their depth, this can happen when people move from senior leadership into executive leadership, then that insecurity or imposter syndrome or that sort of nervousness around their capability can sometimes morph into bravado and egocentric decision making. So that means we're pushing other people down, we're doing things to uplift us, we might be throwing our teams under the bus. So have a think about those common gaps for leaders in their level of self-awareness, and have a think, what's one thing that you might be able to work on? Did any of those gaps resonate for you? And if you can't think of one thing that you could work on, or you can't think of any area that you could grow, then self-awareness itself might be your opportunity.